test. Good.
May as well bring a shovel. This is a dig site after all.
Look out! They are manifesting in our immediate area!
After we reached the catacombs at the dig site, my men began to get sick. They came like the others.
Shoot him in the head. That seems to work. This won't keep him out for long. Haven't got many shells left. This'll hold them for what, 10 seconds?
Feeling generous, huh?
I'm keeping you around. If things get any worse, I'll use you as bait. This'll hold them for what, 10 seconds?
A drawing becomes real?
Double points.
Not in the mood for this shit. I'm down to my last few rounds.
I'm trapped here. I just want to go home.
What's slowing me down? Watch your backs! They're all over us!
I fear I will soon be unable to defend myself.
Through talking to you. What do you know about the girl, Reptile? Is she trapped somewhere on the site? Something happening here. Changes things for the better.
Man who fights for greater good.
RetroDev says. Where Mike Remill?
Εδώ είναι το Mike Remilluka.
I want to know what happened.
Χρόνια και ζαμάνια. Γεια σου. Άλλαξες και το όνομα. RetroDev, what the fuck are you talking about?
RetroDev says. Rios. RetroDev says. Nice mic quality.
Is it? I don't know.
I'll be. Just found myself another gun.
It's my regular
To help me,
settings.
please. There is a way to open the gateway. My father was so close. He said, you have to follow the steps.
Carpenter.
Father said the chambers were doorways, opened by the songs of the ancients. Harness the elements. Only with all can Agartha be reached. It's one of the songs. It has to be.
Uh-oh.
The ancients were lost. Follow their copies. You can find them.
Fuck.
You can get me out. You can open the gateway to Agartha.
Running real low on ammo here. Max ammo. Double points.
Yes, yes, you found it. For the doorways to open, they need to hear the songs.
The Germans alone could not have created this.
Uh-oh.
I heard something about another song. One that would open the main chamber. I think you found it.
I need ammo here. Don't let up. I'm almost out.
What the fuck? Shit, this fucker's strong. Why is his helmet still on?
Heads up, the robot's coming this way. It's got me. We'll call this payment for services rendered.
Nah. No!
Fire sale.
Overpowered piece of shit. Yeah. It's way harder in this game than the last game.
jam here! Heads up! The robot's coming this way!
Oh my god. Fuck. Fuck. Perhaps the shotgun isn't the best gun to do this with, but these are problems that this game has, not its predecessor. I don't remember dealing with range problems in BO2 as far as the robot's foot goes, the giant's feet go. Anyways, give me this. Thanks.
This
now
look like a flak
let's
jacket or something?
stick this. Nothing here. Let's kill some guys and let's go get useful perks. Yeah.
No ammo! That's all I need! Damn. I hope it works a whole lot better than it tastes. Watch the light! Watch the light!
Whoops. Among Us. Uh-oh.
How'd I get myself into this mess? All the generators are up and running. Can't remember the last time I tasted sugar.
Nope.
My
Nope.
basic rations are
Nope.
barely edible.
Time to pack a punch. Is that fucking robot, that Panzer Soldat, is not coming down without it. Or so it seems. Is that Gen 3? Yeah. Fuck me. Fuck. Got him? Good. Oh, give me a break. That's a shame.
Freight bags are attacking the generators!
Carpenter. Double points.
Good mother. Good mother. Good mama. Mama.
Freight bags fought hard that time. At least we held the area.
There we go.
Insta-kill.
Let's see if the German was telling the truth. Well, I'll be. This thing just spat out a weapon. Alright, I think I got it now. The sooner you all die, the sooner I can get out of here. You crossed a line. Careful, the robot's approaching.
Max ammo.
Ah.
Richtofen, it's another of your crazy machines? This looks special. Damn mud's slowing me down. Fire in the hole! I better take it, just in case the German's telling the truth.
Something is wrong. No longer trust. No longer feel.
Okay, so need to do the boxes, the soul boxes, chests, whatever. Also need to do
I dug us up some good luck.
first giant robot for the lightning stuff part, and what else? The other two Max's parts, one was with the tank, though I don't know the one that's been taken which one it is. One was with the tank, two were with the tank, and the third one was with the bot, the drone, I think. But I don't quite remember.
Keep killing freak bags. I want to know what
The
happened.
whole process.
Don't let up. First mistake was touching me. Your second was sticking around.
Good.
Just
Now that's
disappear.
done. Cool.
That must have been at least 500 pounds of explosives right there.
Oh, got a free perk. Nice. Let's do this one then.
Running real low on ammo here.
Kill zombie. Where is zombie? There. Come on, mate. Come on. Thank you. Oh, one of them quit. That's a shame. That's a real shame. That guy using the tank? Yep. Thank you. Okay. We got company. Where'd you go?
Keep killing freak bags. I want to know what happened.
There he
The
is.
ancients thought their riddles would never be solved. They were wrong. They were so wrong.
Think this was gonna go any other way?
I have a fucking shield. Why am I getting so much burn damage from this shit? It's excessive. Yes. Yes, thank you. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Heads up, the robot's coming
Fuck
this way.
you. Little bitch ass motherfucker. Overpowered cunt. And this one's... That's a shame.
Keep killing freak bags. I want to know what happened.
Fuck. Was this one taken? I don't see it, so I guess yeah.
I am out of here.
Yep. This one's been taken.
Engine's overheated. We gotta wait it out.
Yeah. Have to wait it out indeed.
You're getting closer. So much closer.
Oh shit, it's ready.
Let's get this thing moving. Damn it. Barely moving this mud.
Ella. Test.
This is far as I go. It is but part of staff.
Good.
Mud. I can barely move.
Is this the wind one? Yeah, wood.
Maybe I should hang on to this. Let's see if the lightning
No.
staff lives up to its
Did I
promise.
fuck up? I think I fucked up. Oh, never mind.
I don't know how, but we're so much closer than my father ever got.
What should I do? I don't
You're
remember
so
that. No, I'm not
close.
doing this one.
My
I'm
father
not
kept
doing
saying
that
it,
one.
but you
That one
can't.
has that piano, stupid piano step that
When
just
the final steps
doesn't
are
work
taken,
sometimes.
The gateway to Agartha will open.
The gateway to your mama. Okay, now it was... I think... What was the first step? Have to go down. Yeah, down to the... tomb. Okay, and there was a... I don't remember, what was it? The pattern.
I don't know how many times I have to say this. We
It was Phil. Okay, so...
See if this works.
This is F, is it? Or was it from the outside? That's F. That's I. Double L, 2. That's double L, and that's 2.
You
That's
solved the
pretty
chamber
cool.
puzzle. How did you know what to do?
Your mama told me. Then we have to shoot the domes, right? I remember those. There was one here.
We need to get this operational.
Yeah. What the fuck am I doing? Shoot, shoot. Let's go, let's do the last one.
Your bravery will soon end my nightmare. All your effort will soon be rewarded.
Is it done? I think it's done.
You solved the riddle.
Yeah, I did.
Something's happening. I can
Sure
feel
is.
it.
Yep. Turnstones. It's easy. Know what? Let's double pop. Wait, what? Oh, I left the pop gun. What an idiot.
Now that's a hell of an upgrade. Looks like the German was right.
Okay, so... That's yellow, yellow. Is there... Alright, what's the... Is it this one? No. The highest one would be... Wasn't this one, so it should be the equivalent from this side, which is... I don't know. Is it this one? It sure isn't. Must be that one, but how did one get to that one? Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. Good. Up you go. Up you go. And now I just have to go back, right?
You don't get to walk away.
Okay, I have to go down, right? The tomb again. Right. How can you tell whether a staff's been upgraded?
Though lost for centuries, the power of the ice staff is now in your hands.
Nice. That one's been upgraded.
With this staff complete, Britain is now yours to wield.
Nah.
Soon, I will be free. I know I will.
Good thing I double popped. Is it done? Yeah, it's done. So, is it just the red one that needs upgrading?
Has already been reached.
Okay.
Sounds like one of the generators is under attack.
Ammo.
First mistake was touching me. Your second was sticking around.
Should have gone through the other tunnel, but whatever. Whatever.
Damn it. Barely move in this mud. You don't seem to understand. I'm trained for this. Bastards are appearing out of thin air! Come on, sons of bitches.
Good.
Your fault, German. You started all this.
Let's do this now too. As quickly as possible because the fucking robots are coming again. God damn it.
This area is where the robot sits.
Come on. Come on. No. You stupid motherfucker. You got fucked.
Damn robot almost killed me.
That's such a shame.
Nagano, they will not survive.
Don't feel much
Where's the
stronger.
fucking light?
Mind you, I can already run 10 miles with a full kit.
tough old bastard's back. He's not alone.
Double points.
I'll try to take care of him here. I like this area.
I got diddly.
Look at this damage, holy shit. Motherfucker. Overpowered cunt. No! No! They trapped me.
Double points.
Fuck.
The filthy rats use strength in numbers to their advantage. We cannot allow the German to fall. There is much to learn from him. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, I will never surrender. I feel different. The foul stench floods my nostrils. This will suit my needs.
Okay. Okay. Gotta get my shit together. Gotta do something. Gotta do some. They forgot about me. Fuck. Fuck.
I fear I will soon be unable to defend myself.
Use the damn fucking staff. Get out of the way. Up and away with. That's bugged. Okay, not enough points for a lot of things, so I am just have to make do with.
Got a situation here.
Guess who's cooked? That's me. That's right. It's me. That's what happens when you don't have Perkaholic. You have to pay for your Bex, so you can't.
They're swarming on Richtofen. We need that German alive. You freaks don't stand
Your
a
money.
chance.
Oh wait, why the fuck am I not get? I just need to get the
Careful,
shield.
the robot's approaching.
Hello. Can you open the door with the stuff? I didn't tell. I think it... Is it open? No. Is it? Okay. Now I could use...
Damn mud's slowing me down.
Yeah, I should do these. Let me do it. I need the points, bro.
I can barely move in this mud.
Keep killing freak bags. I want to know what happened. You don't get to walk away.
Done. This one hasn't been done, so...
Keep killing freak bags. I want to know what happens. Don't let up.
Good. Next one I think is Gen 5 and that must be the last one. Unless I'm missing something. Or was that done? Has that one been done? No. Okay.
You have come so far. Please keep
Fucking hell, what
going. The journey isn't
shitty timing is this?
Be careful, the robot's approaching.
Fuck.
You crossed a line.
Oh no. No.
Freaks.
No. This stupid robot's too fucking insane. Oh, I'm so cooked. Oh, that's a shame.
Didn't know about that. We didn't know anything because we didn't say anything because we didn't know. We didn't say anything because we didn't know about that, and we had no reason to. And that's another thing.
He's gone.
Like, we don't shout it from the rooftops every time we stop working with a sponsor, and neither does anybody. That is such a weird, bizarre expectation that some people have. Do you expect the NFL to, like, replace Monday Night Football with a 3-hour special about not using Surface tablets anymore when their sponsorship ends? Of course not. We stopped working with a bunch. We've stopped working with a bunch of sponsors because of getting about how they have had bad experiences with them. We didn't, shout it from the rooftops. We just stopped working with them. And the problem is that Linus is such a good parasocial relationship in an actor that people are all defending him for fucking them. So Steve actually did do something very wrong in his video by not including that context, and I agree that that it's wrong, because that context makes it even worse. So first things first here. So you're kind of comparing, informing your audience about the fact that this company is scamming people with making a 3-hour video. You know that that's bullshit. This is a false dichotomy, and this is done to escape responsibility and accountability, which is part of what I say Linus always does. And every time he does this, he tends to go from being the victimizer to being the victim. It was one of the top voted comments, or in the top voted comments in one of the last apology videos he's done. I don't know, I've lost count of this stuff, where people were making the point that, man, it always seems like one of the top voted comments was, Linus has always talked about how companies respond to criticism and tells you a lot, and always the victim, never the victimizer. So I want you to think about this statement for a moment. I thought it was screwing them. I didn't know it was screwing you. Imagine I have somebody in my house during a barbecue and then my wallet goes missing. I have a hidden camera inside my house and I check it and it shows that Bob stole my wallet. My neighbor has a barbecue the next day, and I don't tell my neighbor that Bob stole from me or warn him because I'm afraid of how that'll affect my image and how people will react to it. I'm concerned about how that would go for me. And let's say that he finds out that somebody paid me $20,000 to $60,000 to say that Bob's a good guy. This is the level that Linus stooped to. And this motherfucker has the gall to put the word morality on screen and read the dictionary definition of that shit to criticize Steve Burke. Steve Burke ain't perfect. He's a flawed man. But get the fuck out of here with that shit. These people that pay you this much money, they're not paying this much money for you to have a fucking forum post made. They're not paying this much money because they read a tweet by somebody that you know. They're paying this much money to be in a high visibility video. In another video, he's talking about how there was a post on our forum about this that somebody made about on our forum, and somebody else had made a tweet about this, and there was a Medium post. I had no idea that Honey did this. Do you know why I don't know that Honey did this? Because I don't read your forum. I've seen your videos before. I don't read your forum. I don't read random Medium posts and Twitter blogs.
Oh shit.
This company paid you for a high visibility video. You know damn well that these people are not paying the same amount of money for a temporary shout out on your forum because your forum has less than 1% of viewership, most likely, of your YouTube channel. I'm just taking a guess there. And that's one of the things that pisses me off here, is that this man that has no standards and no ethics is now gonna come out and look at this ungroomed, nerdy man in a t-shirt who builds computers on the internet and tests GPUs and hold him to the standard of a fucking Columbia University PhD journalism student that went on to work at the Financial Times. And if he falls short in one way, well, you didn't do it right, so you shouldn't be criticizing him. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You have Steve so fucked up over this. I look at his website. I look at how he's changed, how he publishes things over the years. This is called accepting the premise of assholes. That you must be held to the highest standard, but they can be held to none. If you're gonna be the bitch and take their money, then you gotta be the whole bitch and announce on the same motherfucking channel that you posted that ad, that you learned that they're a scam. It's not about you. It's not about your image. You gave up the right to care about your image or be concerned about your image or how it would go or how it would be perceived when you took their fucking money. How about you let me decide if I want to use a closed source browser extension that's made by a bunch of scammers that has access to all my personal data so I could save $2 fucking when I check out at Old Navy Dock? How about you let me decide that for myself instead of having concern for your fucking image over my well-being? I don't care if there was a Twitter post somewhere saying that this was a scam. I don't care if there's a forum post somewhere saying that this is a scam. You took the money to post this shit on your main YouTube channel, and you get paid this much money to post shit on your main YouTube channel because it's high visibility. I don't want to see that shit where it's page 1 for the misinformation and page 28 and little text in the fine print at the bottom for when you do a retraction and, oh, look, I did that already and I kind of, I was afraid about my image and I thought they were only screwing this group of people. I had no idea that people who were willing to scam people worth $100 million may scam my users as well. You expect the NFL to, replace Monday Night Football with a 3-hour special about not using Surface tablets anymore when their sponsorship ends? Of course not.
We must endeavor to slow their progress.
That's a false dichotomy. What you've done is you've taken a legitimate criticism from the audience. You have then compared it to something that's completely different to make the audience members who criticized you look ridiculous so that you can deflect accountability and responsibility. That's a 90-second short. You don't have to do a 3-hour-long retraction, you manipulative fuck. That's some bullshit. That's bitch shit right there. What you're doing is you're deflecting accountability and responsibility. You're avoiding it, and then you're twisting what people are saying in your audience to something ridiculous to make them look ridiculous when they don't have to. That's bitch shit. That's child shit. That's not being a grown woman or a grown man. That's being a child.
Perhaps this will
I don't
aid us in our
respect that.
fight
You know
for
damn
survival.
fucking well, Linus, that nobody was asking for a 3-hour retraction or for you to stop your programming. They were asking you to do this. You turn on your camera phone while you're waiting in line at the bank or after you wake up or while you're on the toilet and you do this. Hey everybody, we were sponsored by a company called Honey. They create a browser extension that allows you to save money by taking discount codes and implementing them automatically when you check out on websites online. We recently figured out that their entire business model is based on scamming content creators by stealing their affiliate revenue and stealing their commissions. If you want to keep using this browser extension because it's working for you, by all means keep using it. I'm not here to tell you what you do with your computer. I just wanted to let you know this, and I felt like we needed to disclose it because I'm concerned that a company that is brazen enough to steal from people worth $10 to $100 million might also be willing to do nefarious things with data from people that don't have the money for a law firm to go after them if they do something screwy. This browser extension has a privacy policy where it says they keep your data for 10 years. It is closed source. Browser extensions can see almost everything you're doing in your web browser, and they admit that they're collecting your data and saving it for 10 years. And because it's closed source, we can't really know what it does. If you want to keep using it, by all means keep using it. But in the interest of full disclosure, I needed to tell you this so that you understood the full implications of it. We're going to try and vet our sponsors a little bit better in the future. My bad. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next video. Shit takes 2 fucking minutes, and you could have done that on the goddamn toilet. And you're comparing it to a 3-hour-long fucking retraction? Are you serious? And you're pretending that you would have to stop doing your content and program for this? That's a false dichotomy, and that's bitch shit, because that's the type of thing you do when you want to avoid accountability and responsibility. I am very mad at Steve Burke for not including that context in the video that he did. He should have included that clip, because that clip is very important. It demonstrates just how far you'll go to scrape the bottom of the barrel when it comes to caring about your image and how it'll go for you over the well-being of your viewers. This is why I called you an actor in the email that I sent you. I'll include a copy of that down below. Somehow you managed to shift the focus from not disclosing the actions of scammers because you're more interested in your self-image to whether or not Steve Burke included the last 15 seconds of a clip that makes you look even worse. All these people are saying, why didn't you play the whole clip? Steve didn't play the end of the clip. If you had their context, you'd see that he was right. It's like, the context makes this worse. Like, this, how fucking stupid does Linus think his viewers are? Really? You're comparing doing a 45-second retraction to canceling your entire programming to make a 3-hour video. How fucking stupid does this man think you are? You know what's sad, knowing Steve personally? You know the reason that he left that context out? He left that context out because that context makes you look worse. And this video was not supposed to be about you, but you always manage to make shit about you. Go figure. He left that out because leaving that context in, where you make that ridiculous false analogy to a Monday Night Football game being canceled in a 3-hour traction, when all that was necessary was a 90-second video, makes you look like a manipulator. When you say, I mean, who's always announcing when they stop working with their sponsor? How about you? You announced when you stopped working with your sponsor right here. And then you kept working with them anyway. And you're probably going to say, well, that video was in the pipeline, so what about this? This was like 8 months later. I mean, look at this, Aces, sponsored by Aces. He did not want this video to become a referendum on you. And he knew that if you left this clip in, this literally makes you look worse. How about, you want to talk about right to reply and why didn't you contact him? If you actually lived up to your own yardstick, which is what I tell Steve to do to you all the time, you better start doing that. If you actually lived up to the yardstick by which you were measuring Steve, you would have contacted Steve and say, hey, why didn't you include the rest in that video? And he would have said, because it makes you look like a fucking idiot, and I didn't want that video to be about you. And I hope Steve Burke understands this. He went out of his way to try and live up to your yardstick. He actually wanted to avoid more confrontation. And what happened as a result of that is he got more of it. So he needs to understand that he needs to stop accepting the premise of assholes. I hope Steve learned a very important lesson that I've been trying to tell him for a really long time. You cannot accept the premise of assholes. Do not let people who hate you choose the yardstick by which you are measured. You take that yardstick and you measure them to see if they live up to the standard they want you to. And if they don't, you take their yardstick, you break it over your knee, and you shove it up their ass. I did a video on what it means to be a real influencer, and it might do you some good to watch it. The man I talk about in that video was willing to have his reputation dragged through the mud for years if it meant there was even a 1% chance of making the life of a few kids at the ghetto a little bit better. You're not willing to be honest with 1 million people if it gets a little bit of dust on your shoulder.
Fuck.
You're not the same. And then you leverage that parasocial relationship you have with your audience so that they're actually running around defending you for not being fully upfront with them. You are an influencer. You're a bad influence because you're influencing people to not take accountability and responsibility for their actions. And now this man that has no standards and no ethics is going to come out here and look at this fucking ungroomed, nerdy guy in a t-shirt who builds computers on the internet and try to hold him to the standards of a Columbia University PhD journalism student that went on to work at the Financial Times. And if he falls short in a single way, well, you don't have the right. You didn't give me the right to reply. You did this wrong. And then he puts the word morality on screen and starts reading the fucking definition of it to imply that this guy, like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That is called accepting the premise of assholes. That Steve must be held to the highest standard, but Linus should be held to none. And I don't accept the premise of assholes, and I've yelled at Steve Burke about this. You are allowing other people to choose the yardstick by which you are measured, instead of taking that yardstick, trying to measure the people who are using it on you, and then saying, it seems like you don't care about this. Get the fuck out of here. I've been reading Steve's website over the past year, and if you just look at the language he's using, he has gone so far out of his way to try to sound like somebody from the fucking professional law review, instead of being who he is. A guy that reviews GPUs, a nerd that looks at GPUs, benchmarks them, and goes over when companies scam people and puts the receipts on the screen. That's who Steve is. That's what his audience wants him to be. Steve's core audience doesn't want him to type up shit that looks like it came from the fucking Columbia University PhD School of Journalism or Law. That's not who he is, but you guys have twisted him into that shit by using this different fucking yardstick to measure him, and he actually falls for the premise of assholes and is doing that. And I've been telling him, you gotta stop that shit. He's got a section of his website where he's actually split up every company he's gone into and right to reply, no right to reply, didn't comment. Like, I have never in my life seen this shit. He has literally redone his website to accept the premise of assholes. This entire thing makes me sick because no website does this shit. When you go to Bloomberg.com, sometimes the news page will say, we have contacted Senator XY fuckface to ask for their reply or what they think of this. But a lot of the times they comment on people and they talk about people and they cover news stories where there's no reaching out to the person because they don't have to, because this is a meme. This is a standard that is being applied to Steve Burke, a fucking nerd that reviews graphics cards that half of the time is not even applied to real journalists. This entire page is a case study in Steve accepting the premise of assholes. He spent time rewriting his website. He spent time changing how he speaks, who he is, how he writes, so that he could hopefully measure up to people that will never accept him, that will never listen to what he has to say. This is like the home policing shit. When people say, I'd support right to repair if only the police wasn't saying it. But then when Nathan Proctor talk about it, or Kevin O'Reilly talk about it, they brush it off. And when I talk about it, they go, okay, I listened, but I don't like it because it was him. It's tone policing. You're accepting the premise of assholes. You're changing who you are. You're changing how you act. And you're not supposed to do that for people that hate you. If this page is not replaced with a picture of Mr. Clinton within the next 2 hours, I'm flying over to North Carolina and pouring more water on your server than my clients do on their MacBooks. Get this shit out of here. Right to reply. I keep hearing about this. The right to reply. Why didn't you give me my right to reply? Right to reply to Linus means right to spin a story the way I want it to be spun. It means right to PR. See, right to reply is for something like this. Hello, Senator Rossman. I'm Jake calling from YBS News Network, and we'd like to get a response on this idea that you have fucked a pig and cheated on your wife. Huh? Where'd you hear that? Black Mirror, Episode 1. No, see, that's a television show. Now, I wasn't in that show, so no. Thank you, Mr. Rossman, that's all print. Right to reply is about bullshit, false allegations that have no evidence. You guys have never cared about this in the past on my channel. For 13 years, you never cared about this when I go over the story. When Charlie Brown goes in front of the Washington State Senate and says that if you go to an independent repair shop, you may get TikTok installed on your phone. And then it gets found out that one of the companies that he represents, Samsung, which is on their website, was actually pre-installing TikTok on people's phones. You don't ask me why I didn't call up Charlie Brown and say, hey, Charlie Brown, it looks like from objective evidence in your own testimony that you lied to the Washington State Senate. Would you like to put a PR spin on that for your own audience? That's not how this shit works. When Kerry Kadolsky at NHTSA decided that she was going to ignore a judge for 2 years that was asking for input on the Massachusetts ballot initiative for right to repair, and she ignores them for 2 years. And then one day after this comes into law, she decides to send a letter to every automotive manufacturer telling them to ignore this law. And I point out the fact that several years ago, before she went to become a top regulator, she was working at a firm that lobbied on behalf of automakers. None of you asked me to call her. None of you got mad that I didn't go, hey, Kerry, automotive industry lobbyist from several years back. It looks like you ignored a judge for several years. It looks like there's a record of that. And then you sent a complete pile of bullshit over to every automaker asking them to ignore a law that was passed democratically via ballot initiative and approved by a judge. Would you like to explain why you did that? When Sarah Faye Pierce from AHAM shows up to a hearing in Nebraska and then says that magtrometers and microwaves may explode if this law gets passed, none of you complained to me in 7 years and said, why didn't you give her a right to reply? Why didn't you call her and say, hello, Miss Pierce, It looks like you made up a word that doesn't exist, and then said that this magical fantasy item called a magtrometer may explode. Can you explain why you lied to the Senate in Nebraska? And can you explain why you made up an item that doesn't exist? And can you please provide a citation for why it explodes? Please put a PR spin on that for your audience before I explain it. Like, that light to reply is a meme here. It's right to PR. It's right to constantly have some sort of bullshit little nitpicky detail that I can use to spin a story in my favor. It's disgusting. It's being used as a method to avoid accountability and responsibility. And I have watched Steve Burke change his entire fucking website. I've watched him change the way he presents things. He changes the way he talks. He changes the way he writes because he's accepting the premise of assholes. He's accepting that people who have no morality and ethics in their own fucking advertising. Yeah. You'll take the money on the main channel to advertise it, but God forbid you make a fucking mention on the main channel of it. I gotta go to Twitter. I gotta go to Medium. I gotta go to some random forum to figure out that this company's full of shit. I have 2 million subscribers. I use affiliate links. I didn't know about Honey. You know why I didn't know about Honey? Because I watched your channel. I don't read your fucking forum. I don't read random shit on Twitter. I don't go searching on Medium for a product that somebody recommended to me 2 years ago on a high visibility YouTube channel. You know that. This man, there's no ethics and morals regarding this shit. He's gonna have the fucking word morality from the dictionary on the screen and be reading it and using that as a yardstick. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I see the standard that I hold myself to, and I don't even think it's a high one when a company doesn't even pay me. There's a piece of repair shop software called Repair Shopper, and it's awesome. You could hook it up to your phone system. It does all sorts of cool stuff. Here I did a 22-part video series on how to set up a phone system that you can use with Repair Shopper. And I've also done other videos promoting this piece of software because it works really well, and I thought my viewers would make use of it since I have a lot of Repair Shop viewers. I never got paid to do these videos, ever. I was not sponsored by Repair Shopper. Recently, they started screwing people, and they did this bullshit where they're using AI to collect the data and train it and do all this messed up shit, and I decided to do a video on it. It was all caps. Opt out of Repair Shopper data collection now. A nice, very, very provocative thumbnail over here. And I also followed up later. I never even thought about my self-interest or my business while I was doing this. I had to have one of my employees point out to me, hey, Louis, you realize we're still using this and it's going to take us a month or two to migrate off, right? So when you do these videos and you piss them off and if we haven't migrated yet, we're kind of fucked. It never even entered my mind that to care about my business first. I have 2 million subscribers. I told people on my main YouTube channel to use this. People who watch my channel may have switched over to this piece of software. So the first thing that I need to do is rush over to this channel and let them know to stop using it immediately. I was the bitch. I recommended the software on my main channel. Therefore, I must be the whole bitch and tell people to opt out of this piece of software on my high visibility YouTube channel. I'm not going to take this and put that on my throwaway live channel for Koi Fish. I'm not going to take this and put it on boards.rossmancrew.com. I'm not going to make a pinned message in my Discord because I realize that people are not looking for that message there. I told them about this on the main channel, therefore I tell them to leave on the main channel. If I have that standard for myself about something that I did not even take money for, why is it wrong that we have that standard for influencers that have built $20 to $100 million companies off of advertising shit? I don't think it's a lot to ask. Next I want to go over is the part that has twisted my stomach more than all, and this is something I should have went public with 5 or 6 years ago. I strongly regret not doing that, because God only knows how many people he's tried to manipulate in a very similar way to this. This is a screenshot of, I'll explain the entire context of it, but this is a screenshot of an email that I got from Linus after announcing why I wasn't attending LTX in 2019, after going back and forth 2 or 3 times where they said they wanted me to pay for my +1 to show up. The email here that makes me sick is, I also really don't understand or agree with your overall tone. Don't act like this relationship has been all give and no take for you. Yeah, you helped us fix this iMac, but we were perfectly capable of that. And you actually broke it during your rough handling, causing us to have to send it out for repairs again. I kept quiet about it and I absorbed that because I appreciated your involvement for the sake of our fans.
I will be cautious.
We lost You damaged the motherboard. I have a bill for the repair if you truly believe I'm a liar and I must waste time digging it up. You laughed it off in the moment saying, well, I'm a laptop tech. We had that system deployed for years to one of our graphics designers. So what are we talking about here? So there was a series about a broken iMac that Linus had done. One of his employees broke an iMac, Apple refused to fix it. It was part of a 3 or 4 part story on his channel where he was doing about this iMac. and he asked if I would show up to be on camera while they're working on it. This is, it's for show. It's for show. People like seeing their favorite YouTubers on camera. If there's an audience crossover or audience overlap, they like seeing them on screen. He has an iMac Apple refuses to fix. I'm the Apple right to repair guy, so, you know, like, it makes sense. So they asked if I would show up for this. They offered to pay for my flight. I was on vacation at the time with my girlfriend. She actually surprised me with a vacation to Canada, and it was actually very, very close to where his office was. So I told him, I appreciate this, but I'm actually already going to be here. Like, I'm not going to take their money when I'm already going to be there. It just seems kind of skeevy. Like, yeah, I'll take your money for my flight that I already booked because I'm going to be on vacation there anyway. Like, it's an Uber ride away from my hotel to get to Linus's office, so no big deal. I go there, fix the iMac, whatever, we work on it, and, like, you know, I show up on camera, I have my dry humor, and we're done. A year and a half later, when asking me to show up to LTX again and not wanting to, like, cover the travel for my +1,
What does the siren
he takes out this little abacus that he has in his fucking pocket. He's keeping score of perceived debts and favors. He's using past generosity as leverage. He's minimizing the benefit from the collaboration. He's shifting blame onto me while presenting himself as magnanimous. Like, I kept quiet and absorbed that. Well, thank you very much, Saint fucking Sebastian. I really appreciate that. He demands a high visibility retraction. He tries to control the narrative. He switches this victimhood thing by accusing me of spinning a story, and he turns a business decision into a personal attack. He gaslights me by saying I seem emotional when my email is actually quite measured and business focused. The most telling part of this is that he took a very simple business decision, and he dug into this little bag of guilt, and he pulled something out just to manipulate me a year and a half later.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Let's go over all the reasons that this is disgusting. So I'm going to provide you with the context, and then I will also provide you with some examples so that you can have an idea of just how ridiculously manipulative this is. So firstly, this story spanned about 3 or 4 videos. When you look at the amount of money that it costs to be in a Linus video as a sponsor, this video made a lot of money. Just this video made so many more times that board repair, the worth of that iMac in and of itself. Even if I broke it, I'm not going to accept the premise that I broke it. I don't think I broke it. But let's say I did break it. Let's say that let's say that I dropped it, like Linus has done to hardware in his videos more often than Mr. Clinton raids the fucking price of steal my agreements. Let's say that I dropped it. Let's say I broke it. The point of that video was not the economically viable repair of that iMac. The point of that video was to create a story for the audience, a story that would allow for the creation of hundreds of thousands of dollars when fully monetized. So you have a video that's probably making $30 or $60 or $200 or $300,000, and you're now nitpicking a year and a half later about a board repair. That iMac is a problem. Like, and you're really like digging into that, saying like that computer was deployed for a year to a video workstation. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? If there's a problem with that, you take the backup from that and you put that backup from that video workstation into any one of the other 50 or 100 computers that you could build with all of the free components that you've gotten over the years from all these manufacturers. You're really trying to convince me that was like that was really harmful to you, like that really hurts you. That's disgusting. Even if you take the money out of it, it's disgusting. Like, but the money there is just the salt on the wound. But this type of manipulation in general, I'll give you an example. Let's say that somebody like Steve Burke comes to my shop, right? He visits my store, and he is on camera fixing a motherboard. This video made $1,100. That motherboard's like $500 to $600 that I'm working on in that particular video at that time. Let's say Steve Burke works on the board, I work on the board, everything goes fine. 4 years later, I create a consumer protection wiki. His channel's starting to get more into consumer protection, and I say, hey, Steve, are you open to sharing a shout out to my consumer protection wiki on your channel? Sure, that's great, Lewis. Yeah, I'll do it. A few days go by, I see Steve Burke released a new video, and it doesn't include my wiki. And I call him up, and I say, hey, Steve, you know, where's my wiki entry? Where's my shout out? Don't act like this relationship has been all give and no take with us. When you showed up 4 years ago and you worked on that motherboard, you know, that actually came back. I had to fix that thing again. You damaged it. You want to see the repairable to see that you damaged it? Yeah, you broke it. So do what I want.
What's that?
Every demon that falls supplies more energy.
What's that, brother?
That's such a fucking disgusting, manipulative, shitty way to talk to somebody. That would be disgusting in a circumstance where the board is $500 and the video made me $1,100. That's infinitely more disgusting when we're talking about an iMac motherboard repair. within the context of a video series that made hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's take another example of this. Creator Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels has a YouTube channel that's smaller than that.
We must act before the enemy reaches the generator. You will be thrown from the very face of the earth.
It's done. Finally. Okay. Next one.
I am refreshed and ready to lead the charge into battle.
Let's say that I have Roscon, and he showed up to Roscon because he was on vacation in Texas. And next year, I say, hey, Paul Daniels, you want to come to Roscon again? And he's like, well, you know, I got my business to take care of and everything, and I'm not, you know, I don't really, I wasn't going to be in America again. It's really expensive for a flight. Well, you know, we can cover a flight for you, but we won't be able to cover a flight for your wife. You'd have to come here by yourself. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'm sorry. I don't want to pay for my own flight to show up to an event that you're charging $200 at the door for. It's not, I got to run my business. I'm sorry. Well, you know, Paul, that software that you made, Flex Board View, you know that software, that actually has a couple of bugs in it. You know, I shouted out that software several times. Don't act like this relationship has been all give and no take for you. I shouted out your software and I shouted out your channel when it was small. And that software actually has some bugs in it. There's some bugs in that software that I've talked about quite a lot. There is actually several repairs that we didn't complete because of the bugs in that software. So you should think about that and do what I want. Fucking disgusting. When I talk about the bugs in Paul Daniels' software, I'm joking. I don't actually mean that so that a year or 2 or 3 years later I can use that to guilt him into doing what I want. That's fucking disgusting. When Linus made a comment about me handling the board and I said, oh yeah, I'm a laptop tech, that was dry humor. That was a joke. I didn't actually mean I'm trying to break your shit. Linus drops shit on his channel all the time. He drops stuff on his channel that costs a lot of money, more often than Mr. Clinton steals greenies out of my closet. So I thought that you were joking, so I responded in kind with a joke along the same line, knowing that this is a channel meme. And you took that joke, you manipulated it into like I'm trying to break your fucking motherboard so that you can hold it against me years later when you've made hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this video series? Are you fucking kidding me? So that I could show up to your for-profit company's conference that you're charging people at the door for, saying, look, you'll get to see all your favorite creators. You can see Jay's 2 Cents and Louis Rossman and everybody else. There are people that probably went to that conference thinking they may be able to see me. And I was willing to show up for free. All I asked, can you pay for the +1? And you're not willing to do that. I'm allowed to say no. I'm not a shareholder in Linus Media Group. And this goes back to what I've been saying this whole time. Whether or not your conference is profitable is irrelevant to me because it's not about you. You're asking me to do something for you. You're asking me to drop my business and fly to go to your country, to go to your conference for no money. And I'm saying, yes, I'll do that. Can you allow me to not tell my girlfriend that I'm sorry, I have to spend the week away from you. We can't do anything together because I have to fly to Canada and make Linus money. You know, my business has services that are loss leaders. There's a keyboard replacement, not a keyboard, there's a keycap replacement thing. We'll replace keycaps if somebody messed up the butterfly mechanism. We never charge for this because it seems like you're nickel and diming the customer. So we'll do that loss leader service, and the idea is that later on, when you need your data recovered, instead of going to the place at the mall that charges $60 and fucks up your phone, they'll come here and pay $500 for us to get the data back properly without fucking up their phone. It's a loss leader. It's part of our overall business strategy. All businesses have loss leaders of some type. Imagine if I looked at one of my employees when he was doing this, if he stayed late to fix somebody's keycap, and he goes to input his overtime, and I look at him straight in the face and I go, oh, don't input your overtime. I actually lost money off of that. We don't make money off of that service. It's not about me. It's not about whether I'm making money. I asked him to stay late. I asked him to do this. It's on me to pay him the overtime. The service I'm asking you to do, not making money, is irrelevant because it is part of the overall business strategy, and the business itself makes money. So for me to say, I'm not going to pay you for this, or I can't cover this because this particular part of my business doesn't make money, it is not the business of my employee. That is irrelevant to him. Whether or not the thing I'm asking him to do makes money is irrelevant to him. And in my case, my business makes money even if that service doesn't make money, and that specific service that doesn't make money is part of a greater strategy to ensure that my business makes money and grows its name. I'm not entitled to your money. I'm not asking for your money. I'm asking for your conference.
Piece of shit followed me down there.
But if you want me to go to your conference, and you're asking me to go to your conference that you're charging people money for, you can cover an economy ticket for myself and my girlfriend, so that I'm not away from my business for a week and her and have to tell people. Moving on here. Awesome, and yeah, we can take care of assembly or disassembly. It's just for effect. It's wrestling. This video was wrestling. It's not real. Like, Linus didn't need me to show up to fix the Mac. We're doing it on camera as entertainment. It's entertainment for you so that you watch. When you watch, he has more views. When he has more views, he can get more sponsors. When he gets more sponsors, he can make more money. When he makes more money, he gets the $1 or the $2 or the $400,000 for the video that makes it so fucking ridiculous that we're even talking about it. He's mad that I didn't clarify the story.
Fuck you.
But let's be clear on the story. This is one of the mistakes that I made, actually. When you look at the email history, you can very obviously tell the point at which either one of my female friends did it, Anna or Jessa, I forget, but it was one of them. One of them took the keyboard away from me as I was probably typing "go fuck yourself" and wrote something that really doesn't make sense. I'm happy to help you book flights, but unfortunately we're way over budget, not able to cover a cost. Me, I hear what you're saying. It's understandable that you wouldn't be able to spend on this thing really over budget. Last year I didn't mind paying for my own hotel and airfare for the video RTX event, since I was already planning a vacation. But this year I wasn't, so I'd be making a trip away from work just for this. Thank you. Next. We're still willing to pay for your hotel and airfare. She's more than welcome to share. It's just the extra airfare for her that we can't cover, unfortunately. That's the second no. After the second no, I had already let go of an employee. I had to train a new employee. There's no going back now. It doesn't matter if you offer to pay for a ticket. It doesn't matter if you offer me $500,000. I can't go. I got to train this new employee so that he doesn't break shit for people. And when somebody asked me on stream why I wasn't going to this conference, I was honest. I said because I asked twice if they'd be open to paying for my +1 when I paid my way last year, and they said no. Linus was mad because that made him look like a cheapskate. And guess what, Linus? If I was typing that email instead of my friend, which maybe now I don't know why I let you take the keyboard from me. Maybe it was a good thing, maybe it wasn't. And that's what I keep going over here. If you're going to be the bitch, be the whole bitch. If you want to nickel and dime me, then you have to deal with the consequences of nickel and diming me. I'm not entitled to your money, and I'm not entitled to go to your conference. But if you want to ask me to go to your conference, then you're going to do it based on my terms. It's not about you. I can't ask Paul Daniels to leave his business and then come to America to show up to my for-profit conference.
What the fuck is going on?
And then say, well, my conference is not making
it's
money,
bugged.
Paul,
What
so
the
you
fuck?
don't understand. You have to show up for free, and you have to pay your own airfare because I'm not making money. That's not how this works. And if he says no to that ridiculous offer, then I'm not allowed to go, well, you know, your software has bugs in it, and those bugs actually cause some of our repairs to not be done properly, so you really owe me.
Oh,
That's
I
disgusting.
can't pause right.
That's
That's online.
Brother,
I just noticed the sound levels are off.
That's not the way a grown woman
game's
or a
too
grown
loud,
man
fuck.
acts. That's the way a child, that's the way a toddler that is having a tantrum acts. That's the way that somebody who believes the world is all about them acts. Do you see a pattern? Next up, there was this whole Trust Me Bro warranty thing. And I did a video on it, and I feel like I pulled my punches, but I pulled my punches for the wrong reason. Linus had donated about $20K to this right to repair nonprofit, and a lot of people who are friends with me who've seen this shit and seen what he's said to other people, they've been picking on me because they've been subtly implying that I've kind of pulled my punches because I subconsciously feel like I owe him something or something like that. And he brought it up in a recent email to me. He's like, oh, look at the things that I've done for you. And that's when I realized, oh no, ew. This bothers me because of the whole concept of being an influencer. Being an influencer means that we try to set a good influence for our audience. And this was a really great way to try. This is a great example of how he could have united his entire audience about a consumer rights issue in a really serious way. And he could have set an example of what they need to expect from other companies. And instead of doing that, he made it all about him. Warranty law in the United States is a joke. I've been talking about this since 2018, long before any of this Trust Me Bro shit. Over the past few years, companies who break warranty law in the United States serve no consequences, none whatsoever. They could be fined $40K plus an instance, and the most progressive FTC chair of our time has fined these companies that break warranty laws $0. Nothing. And the new FTC chair that's coming in is actually worse than her regarding consumer rights. So, yeah, it's going to be fair play for everybody to pretty much get away with murder. This stuff matters. We may laugh about it, but our ability to say that we own something we bought from a company and expect basic support is going away. If somebody points out that my business is missing a warranty page on my website, I'm a business owner that takes accountability and responsibility. It's not all about me. I know that I'm a trustworthy person. I have good reviews. I know that I tell my employees to treat people right, but it's not about me. It's about them. It's about them spending money with me and feeling comfortable because I have a written warranty. So I write out the warranty policy on my website for what it is that we offer. Somebody who wants to deflect accountability and responsibility is going to make it about them. Why don't you trust me? And then make merchandise mocking people that have consumer rights concerns. Monetizes it by not only talking about it routinely, but then he sells merchandise that pits one part of the audience against the other. He's making fun of the audience members that actually cared about consumer protection. If we take this to its logical conclusion, why do we even have privacy policies? Why do we have employment contracts? Why is a small business that's replacing the windows in my house have me sign something? Don't they know I'm famous on the internet? Don't they know how great I am? I have 4.9 stars on Google reviews. I'm the right to repair guy. I care about people. You don't need a deposit, man. Just trust me, bro. It's bullshit because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about my ego. It's not about how great I think. It's not about what I've done in the past. I run a business. He runs a business. My business is a warranty policy. His business is a contract. Linus starts saying, oh, well, you know, if businesses wanted to screw you over, they could screw you over if they really wanted to, even with a warranty policy. I guarantee you don't run your business like that. Is your employment contract, trust me, bro? I guarantee it isn't. Can your employees start their own YouTube and Twitch channels? Can your employees even talk about pay with one another? I don't think they can. I am confident that the same person who's saying that warranties written are not really that important because the company can always screw you is probably having his employees sign employment contracts before they start that dictate what they are and are not allowed to do. Can they start their own YouTube or Twitch channels talking about hardware? Do you trust them not to start their own YouTube channels, or do you have it in writing? Can they discuss their pay with other employees? Because these are things that my employees are all allowed to do. Are yours? They can't, because you don't let them. This is a bad influence. Not only do you have a different standard for yourself than you have for others, but you're good enough of a cult of personality to convince people that this is actually funny. You weren't the one who even recommended that shirt. Your fans were recommending that you make that shirt. You had a chance there, an honest chance to be an influencer, a good influencer to other people, a good influencer to your 14 million people in your audience. You could have told them, hey man, I felt some type of way when you guys didn't really seem to trust me and you wanted a written policy, because I've always covered anybody that has a problem with our products. But you're right, consumer rights are being eroded everywhere, and we should have a written warranty policy. Even me. I want you to hold businesses that you like and care about and trust to the same standard as everybody else. I gotta be held to the same standard as everybody else. Here's our
11-7 and some other shit.
That, you allowed your fan base to devolve into this consumer rights advocates on one side and parasocial defenders on the other. As they're going at it, you're selling merchandise based on making fun of the people who held you to a standard that you want other businesses to be held to, that they should be holding every other business.
There's two of them.
My channel has had no sponsors for 13 years, and the merchandise that I sell does not mock my audience because they care about consumer rights. I'm not pitting this section of my audience against this section of my audience on issues that matter just because of my own fucking ego. And I'm not trying to get the parasocial part of my audience to defend me when I'm doing something that, frankly, no company should be defended for.
11-7.
You want your audience to just trust you when it comes to warranty, but then when it comes to your employees, it seems like there's something different going on there. We're not the same. I don't
3 and 4.
Like I did a post on something that my ex-employee got me.
11-7, 3-4, 3-4.
He went back to New York to do his own thing because he had to take care of his family.
11-7, 3-4.
I didn't point to words in an employment contract telling him
11.
Rather, I went over what Steve did for me in the video.
I went
over
this
what
one.
it meant to have him for 11 years.
Oh god, it's Insta2, fuck you!
He took some pictures that were ripped up by my mother, who was not the best person in the world. And he actually had them professionally restored for me the day before he left. And I showed that on camera. And he went from something like 5 reviews to over 120 5-star reviews in a few hours. And I have a confession to make. I was kind of hoping that would happen. I wasn't hoping for there to be fake reviews saying that he did stuff he didn't do, but I wanted people to see Steve the way that I see him, for who he really is. I wanted that value to shine through accordingly. I wanted him to be successful doing what he does, even if it's not working for my company. And you have a different standard that you set for yourself versus what you set for other people. I guarantee you, your employees don't work under that trust me bro bullshit. Going back to that video that you did about Steve, where you changed the title of it 3 times, and you had the word morality in there from the dictionary, and you're reading the definition of it. You're, Steve, there's a screenshot in that video of a message you said that you sent Steve. And I asked
They're
Steve
all
to read it
lit
to me
up.
over
What the
phone.
fuck am I
And,
supposed to
Steve
do?
was confused because he said, "Oh, I never got that message. That's strange." And he says, "Oh, you know, that was sent to my other phone. Interesting." I'll tell you another thing that pisses me off about Steve from time to time. You ever watch a romantic comedy? I hate rom-coms. The only thing I hate more than rom-coms is influencer culture. But there's
Turn of the
always
Stones,
these
maybe?
two-dimensional characters in these romantic comedies. There'll be like some woman that's playing a ditz, and she'll just wonder, why are all these men being so nice to me? As she's scantily dressed or something like that. And like, that's Steve. That's Steve when dealing with people like you. When you did that video, you changed the title on 3 times. You had the definition of the word morality on screen, and you were reading it. There was a text message that you were showing that you had sent Steve, and you made a remark about how you sent this to Steve to try and work with him, but he never replied to you. He never replied to the text you sent. So Steve's telling me about this message, and you read it to me.
Oh, I lost
And
this,
Steve says,
the
I didn't
brekkie.
get this
Fuck.
message. This is weird. I never got this. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like it got sent to my other phone. I asked Steve about the history of his phone numbers, and apparently Steve had his number changed several years ago, and he alerted everybody to it, including you. So I asked Steve, how often has Linus texted you on this old phone? And he says, never. I asked Steve, how often do you talk to Linus on your new phone? Oh, many times. We've talked several times on this new phone. He messaged me when his channel got hacked. He's messaged me back and forth about other things.
So close.
Huh. So this one text message that would make you look really bad if you didn't reply to it, that he showed on screen later in a video where he's defining morality and showing how you don't live up to it, is a message that he sent to a phone number he knows you don't use anymore, after several months of manipulating. And then yes. This is the stuff that makes my skin crawl. Because I was there. I was there when he
No bolt for me.
he said
Fuck.
some shit to get me to say, oh yeah, I'm a laptop tech. He took that thing, and then like 18 months later, he used it to manipulate me and make me look bad or feel bad. So Linus explicitly texts an outdated number that Steve has not used since 2021, in spite of knowing Steve's current number for emergencies, like during the channel hack, and then publicly presents himself as the wounded party who never got a response. This, in my opinion, that's a calculated move to control the narrative. Linus is painting himself as a victim while making Steve look like the callous guy that didn't respond. It's manipulation of facts to create a false narrative, playing victim while knowing the full context, as public image management at the expense of the truth, and using selective information to damage someone else's reputation. That's classic narcissistic manipulation. I find that shit disgusting. Just like the email that he sent me. Just like this thing where it's always about him and he can't take accountability or responsibility for anything. We're not the same. We may both be influencers, but we're not the same. Steve Burke does not want to be like you. I do not aspire to be like you. If I put my best interests and my image above my audience's well-being, I want them to unsubscribe from me. I argue with my customers over having a written warranty policy because it wounded my poor ego and self-image. They should trust me. Look, I've always done the right thing. I want them to stop using my business. If I have employment contracts like this, I want my employees to quit. All of this stuff will be necessary. It will be a necessary catalyst for self-reflection and change. I have failed and fucked up more times than I can count in life. I know I'm a fucker. But on behalf of myself and others, I try to not judge myself on how I fail. I judge myself on my conduct and picking myself back up. I asked if you want to figure out why you are the way that you are. I know why I am the way that I am. It was a long journey to figure out. I had a fucked up childhood. What happens from the age of when you're born to 17 is not on you. What happens from the age of 18 and onwards, that's on us. We got to figure that shit out. I watched that video Linus did in 2020 where he's questioning everything, what he was doing, his impact on the world, and he mentioned getting made fun of and called these names in school and being picked on. I have full sympathy for people who had crappy childhoods. From birth to 17 is not your fault. You didn't choose that. From 18 and onwards, that's on you, and that's on me. The problem with people like me, the problem with us, my boss, other successful people, people that have way more money than my boss, we're too successful for our own good. That includes me. Linus is probably worth 100 to 200 times as much money as I am. I'm just guessing that, but probably 1 to 200 times as much. But it's the same principle that applies. We're both too successful for our own good. And I've told my boss this many times at Futo, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. For you to be worth over $20 million in your early 20s and to be worth billions of dollars in your 40s, you would have to be completely irrational to take my advice without seriously challenging it. If somebody with 20 YouTube subscribers criticizes my strategy and how I can improve my channel and get engagement, At 2 million subscribers, I'm not going to take them seriously. If someone with 6 reviews on Google Maps tells me what I really need to do if I want successful reviews for my business, when I have over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, I'm not going to take them seriously. I'm not worth 1% of what Linus is worth, but that doesn't mean I'm not in a privileged position in contrast to a lot of people in this economy. The point being is that the problem with people like us is nobody checks us. And when they do check us, we check out. For you to get as far as you have by being you, it would almost be irrational to take someone else's advice and just change on a dime. In our position, we need people who will constantly check us to ensure that we remember. While the good part of us got us this far, we could have gotten even further without the bad part. When I see that phone number shit back and forth with Steve Burke, that shit makes me sick. Because you tried to do that type of shit to me in 2019. And I lived with somebody for 17 years that did that type of gaslighting shit to me. It made me sick. I don't like seeing it. It's a pattern. It's a pattern that I've pointed out here, and it's a pattern that many other people in your audience have pointed out regularly. You don't handle criticism properly. You're never wrong. It's always about you and your self-image. Now, this is not addressed to Linus or his audience. This is addressed to the dozens of people that I've heard from that have experienced similar bullying, who have not come out because they don't want to be deemed as brand unsafe. They don't want to become a pariah in their industry, and they don't want to ruffle the feathers of somebody who is this spiteful and manipulative. I felt a turn in the pit of my stomach in 2019 when I got those emails. Steve felt a turn in the pit of his stomach when he, like I, realized why you sent that message to the wrong phone when you said on stream. You made him look callous on stream by virtue of him not replying. This message is
I'm
to
missing
the dozens
something.
of people that have likely experienced similar bullying. This message is also to the people that I know have because you've messaged me and you haven't released your interactions with them. 5 years ago, I had a conversation with somebody who was in the independent repair provider program by Apple. There was a lot that he wanted to say and a lot of change that he wanted to have happen, but he didn't want to speak publicly because he was afraid of breaking his agreement. I did a video on this where I encouraged everybody in that situation to speak, and nobody did, and little changed. We have gotten so many people to show up at the legislature by the hundreds and have them tell their stories to people who properly documented and cited all of it. It resulted in a bill getting passed that allows people to get their wheelchairs repaired in days rather than months. There are many instances on this channel where I repeat the mantra over and over again. Stop making fun of each other, stop picking on each other, and work together. I can't tell your stories. I would like to break your confidence and show your email chains and show your stories and tell your stories to everybody else. I can't tell your stories, but what I can tell you is that there are many other people who think just like you. There are many people who have gotten similar emails to the one that I got. And there are many people out there that have had the same pit in their stomach when they realized and understood why the one text message that would make Steve look really bad if he didn't respond to it got
this
sent to
debilitating
me.
mud.
I can't tell your stories for you, especially when you swear me to secrecy. But in my 36 years, I can guarantee you one thing. I've never had an experience dealing with somebody who acts like Linus without dozens of other people having the exact same experience. And it's the same thing every time. It takes forever for 1 or 2 people to speak out, but the moment one person speaks out, everybody else speaks out real quick. The word influencer is used in our comment section by people as an insult, and it's used as an insult for a reason. It's easy for me to talk about this. I don't care about being on other people's YouTube channels. I don't care about being sponsored out by others. I'm not looking to get my products reviewed by other people. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't care about being brand safe. I'm broadcasting myself as originally intended, the way Mark Hunter was in that movie Pump Up the Volume in 1990. I was broadcasting myself when 5 people are watching, and I was broadcasting myself with 2 million watching. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this because I care about any of this shit, which means that I have the ability to speak about this. I have one sponsor to worry about pissing off on this channel, and no matter how mad I make him, I can always fix it by giving him agreement. All of you people, and you know exactly who you are because you have sent me messages over the years, I know who you are. You can either keep complaining about how you're bullied by this man, or you're pushed around by him, or you can speak out. You can tell your stories. You can confront it and deal with it. I guarantee you, your products will continue to sell without giving him $60,000 for a single shout out. I guarantee you, your products will continue to sell. I hope the community realizes how worthless these endorsements are. One of these is like $30,000 to have something unboxed. It makes me sick seeing shit like this where like $30,000 for an unboxing video, and then I go to watch the video and you hear some shit like, it's an Asus, so you know it's good. Or sometimes in this channel you hear stuff like, this is from our friends at XYZ. And every time I hear that, it kind of goes back to this line from The Shawshank Redemption. Remember when the sisters look at Andy Dufresne and he's like, I can be a friend to you. Every time I hear that, it's like, man, I'll be your friend for I'll be your friend for $29,000. I could be a friend to you. I could be a friend. It always comes in my head. I guarantee you, all you people that are complaining in private about getting bullied by this man and about reading the same type of manipulative shit, I guarantee you, your product will continue to sell without giving him tens of thousands of dollars. You're good. uBlock Origin and Sponsor Block are more popular now than they have been at any time in history. It means for a good number of these shoutouts, you're probably not even getting viewed anymore anyway. And I encourage my audience in every single instance to install plugins onto their web browser and onto their phones that will allow them to avoid all of these advertisements. People are sick and tired of their entire life being an ad, and someone admitting that they cared more about their image than telling their 14 million audience members that a closed source piece of software they installed in their computer was being created by thieves. This guy's endorsement isn't even worth a greenie. Band together. Spend your money with creators that take accountability and responsibility. Spend your money with people that have ethics and backbone. You will spend far less money, and in the long run, you'll have more return. It's time for a change on this platform, and this starts with you. I do not want this platform to be known for this type of influencer. I want this platform to be known for influencers like Mr. Jack, not for influencers like you. I don't want to be like you. Steve Burke doesn't want to be like you. Alan Parsons doesn't want to be like you. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video.
Right.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. There's a lot of people who have asked me, do I feel regret for the video that I did, the 1 hour long video on Linus Tech Tips? And I will say that I have some deep regret. I stand behind everything that I said in that video. The problem was the presentation. That video was 1 hour. It should have been 3 to 5 minutes. 20 seconds if I talk at my normal speed. And because I made it the way that I did, because I'm such a bad content creator, the people that really need to hear that message because they're stuck in these types of relationships in their own personal lives won't have heard it. And that's on me. I feel horrible about that. I was responding and I was aggravated at this particular pattern, which is that there is a perceived slight to one's self-image. There is deflection of accountability and responsibility. There is a reversal of victimhood, then followed by public punishment.
Fucking hell, man.
Anybody who's done this shit before will likely understand it when I explain it and go through it. And what really bothered me when I saw this. It follows a particular pattern that others like to call DARPA, which is deny, attack, reverse, victim, defend. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. The Steve Burke situation. So the perceived slight to the self-image was the video that he did that forced Linus's hand into that apology video in summer of 2023. And then comes the deflection. This stopped being about what Linus did and turned into nitpicky details on how Steve reported what he did. A right to reply is a thing, and it does exist. I gave an example of it in that video. Here, my opinion was this was the right to deflect. And then it turns into the public punishment. Now, Linus did a stream where the word morality showed up on screen. He's reading what the word morality means. He shows a text message on stream and says that Steve never replied to it, and what he doesn't mention is that he sent this to the wrong phone. Steve was doxxed several years ago. He got a new phone, he took that phone, just threw it in a drawer, and didn't use it. For several years, Linus had been texting Steve on the new phone number. And then the one text message that he sends that he's going to put on stream a year later, that the one text message that's going to make Steve look bad for not replying to it, the one text message that ends up in a stream where Linus is reading the definition of the word morality to imply that Steve does not live up to this, is the text message that he sent to the wrong phone. This is punishment. And anybody who has experienced this particular type of punishment from somebody that follows these things, perception about self-image, deflection and responsibility and accountability, reversing victimhood, and public punishment of whoever it is slighted their self-image. You have that same pit in the feeling in your stomach when you see that shit. I'm not Don Draper's character from that White Christmas episode of Black Mirror. I can't take him and put him into a cookie and do some time dilation shit and sit there in a cabin to extract a confession on why of every fucking text message you guys have had back and forth for years, the one text message that's gonna make him look bad if he doesn't reply got sent to the wrong. That you didn't. If you grew up dealing with this shit, you know. If I told everybody uninstall Honey, an extension that supposedly gets me a better deal because I wasn't making enough money from it, do you really? Honestly, ask yourself truly, do you think that would have went well for me? There's just no way I make that and don't end up hanging from the nearest tree. If somebody is willing to scam me, they may be willing to scam my neighbor. I don't have to know if they've scammed my neighbor yet. I know they've scammed me, and I would like to make a choice for myself as to whether or not to trust them. The deflection of accountability and then the reversal of victimhood. They would have hung me from the nearest tree. It's a phrase that I've heard him use many times before. But the part that's important to focus on is the public punishment. We don't shout it from the rooftops every time we stop working with a sponsor, and neither does anybody. That's such a weird, bizarre expectation that some people seem to have. Do you expect the NFL to replace Monday Night Football with a 3-hour special about not using Surface tablets anymore when the sponsorship ends? Of course not. This analogy is so far off from what people would have asked for, which is a 90-second video going over this, that it serves to make the viewers that asked this of him to look ridiculous publicly. If you created that perceived slight for this image, you must be punished. And the way you're punished is by taking your legitimate concerns and making them look ridiculous. The warranty situation, saying that we've always worked this out before, turning it into an issue rather than just saying, oh yeah, my bad, write warranty policies, my bad, and website first. Instead of that, it really did turn into this back and forth.
I should have turned my fucking back. Fucking annoying so fast.
It went into this deflection of any business can screw you if they want to anyway. And then the public punishment, making merchandise that mocks the people in the audience that care about consumer protection. You've been watching his channel for 3 or 5 or 8 or 10 years, and you were the person that brought up make the written thing without all this other drama on the side. You were being mocked with that shirt. Every time somebody bought that shirt in his audience, it was almost a reflection that, man, even the people that watch, like you, even other viewers think that you're ridiculous. It was punishment. We are all deeply flawed people. The thing is, this particular set of flaws is a set of flaws that also comes with a very special set of skills. The skills of persuasion, the skills of image management, and the skills of cultivating large groups of people that will hang on to and believe highly in everything you say. They'll believe highly in you. The way you win when dealing with people who punish you in this way is not convincing others that you are the good guy. Because you can't do that. It's not trying to accept their premise, because they're measuring you by a yardstick that they don't measure up to themselves. You care so much about right to reply that you send a text message that you are putting on stream as you read that this person is immoral to the wrong fucking phone. Show me how much you care about right to reply. I've dealt with this too. I was punished for 17 years. I went over that in this video. The person who did this, man, she really did not want to have a kid. And she made sure in every single instance to remind as many people as possible just how horrible that person was. I'm 2 years old and I'm listening to this shit and I'm like, how did I do this? I'm confused. I can barely speak, and somehow. And the weirdest part of the entire thing was the deflection of accountability for your decision. The reversing of victimhood to the point where literally people in her life would actually look at this and feel bad for the person that was screaming at me, rather than feeling bad for the kid that was getting screamed at all the time by the person that doesn't want to admit that you made a mistake when she died, of there being a note next to her after she died. I was the one who found it. And it was a note blaming me for the whole thing. I took the thing and I threw it out. Nah, nice try. You did the whole punishing thing for 17 years. Yeah, you don't get to keep doing it.
We must strike while we
The
have the
extent
advantage.
people that have this particular list of traits will go through to continuously punish anyone that cuts against their own self-image, the extent that they go through to deflect accountability and responsibility, it's really something that you have to have experienced firsthand in order to spot that shit. And when you do, you just can't unsee it. The way that you win is by getting back the person you were before the punishment started. By remembering. I know people that messaged Steve and said you've changed. I've noticed you've changed over the past week. Go back to who you were before. I don't care how many people that I by doing a video like this. I don't care how many people review bomb my business on Google with 1-star reviews that are not real customers. I don't care if I look bad as a result of doing it. If one person watching this video notices this pattern in their own personal life, with a parent, with a friend, with a significant other, with a girlfriend, with a boyfriend, with a boss, and goes, I'm good. Anybody who's lived through that shit, when you see it, you can't unsee it. And it makes you sick. To send that message to the wrong phone when you know the number, and then go on for 1 year to talk about right to reply, that's a message. That's a punishment. I'm gonna get you. And I'm gonna get you by doing the same thing to you, and nobody's gonna believe it. I hope he goes back to being the dude he was before, to writing the way he did before, to presenting himself the way he did before. I hope anybody that's dealt with this particular pattern, those little 4 things in a circle in their own personal life, I hope they see it for what it is. It's really difficult to walk down that journey of going back to the person you used to be. Let's start. Had to get that off my chest.
I stand before you, ready to die.
Your mother is among us.
I will not succumb to your sickness. Advance if you wish. I will stand my ground.
Come on. Come on!
Savagery is all you possess.
I mamaka hijo drula, clap your hands, pop, pop. Da, 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 da. Don't kill them yet, you fucks. Jaskier, mongas, mongas, mongas. Put the fucking thing in the fucking place. Put it in the plate! Oh. Done. Good.
Even in greater numbers, you will fall before me.
It's done.
The staff will reveal the ancient writings.
Finally.
Though lost for centuries, the power of the ice staff is now in your hands.
Oh, not for me. Many have died on my grave.
Fuck you! Oh shit, malaka!
My very touch will destroy them. I fear nothing.
Those creatures will regret awakening the Great Bear. I will draw a line in the sand. I light a flame that may never be extinguished.
Fortnite.
Spirits of my ancestors are with me! Your numbers only provide a greater challenge! Your death comes swiftly!
That's ammo.
For the moment, we need not worry about ammo! Advance if you wish. I will stand my ground.
Fucking hell.
You are no match for a samurai! These uncivilized weapons belong in the hands of the Gaijin. Your death comes swiftly! The spirits pray with us, as though we are but toys for their amusement. Cannot outrun my enemy in this mud! I cannot fire without ammo!
My weapon has been miraculously transformed. Everything burns.
ends me.
Max ammo.
Release me, demon!
No, no, no!
Max ammo.
Need ammo here. Got a situation here. Hold on to the American call! Only a fool would face me in battle!
This gobblegum has really come in clutch. Holy shit.
The spirits of my ancestors are with me!
What can we do?
Max ammo. Double points.
Fresh ammunition. Nothing to me!
Let me.
Mind you, I can already run 10 miles with a full kit.
Fuck.
It was you who first drew blood.
Your mother. Your mother is a monk. Bro, I think he has to throw the G-strikes now.
The spirits of my ancestors are with me!
I'm not safe here. You have to hurry. The giants can break the seal.
Your mama.
East elsewhere, foul demon!
Oops.
Fire sale.
Nice. Give me a shotgun. I want the
Died on my braid.
I want the shotgun.
Will be no different.
Please.
destruction. Better be in my hands than those of the German.
Your mama, your mama.
I will feel no shame to die in battle. Like the ruling elite, not guilty of threatening is special.
Oh my god, I need to take this.
With this,
Yes.
countless beasts will die by
No.
my hand. Even in
Oh my god, I fucking hate you. Did they disconnect? Did they quit? What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? They both just fucking left? Oh my god. What was the next step to fucking getting inside those robots and pushing that button at the middle robot? But all three of them would have to. Come. Did we skip this? Deploy drone, kill Panzer. Well, that's enough for one day. That's what I'll say. Let's do some gambling before I close this and turn off the stream. Great power, power vacuum, and undead man walking. Okay, one last. Power boost. Thanks. I should change the bubblegum. Something I have. Can buy an extra perk, gives you a free perk after you buy one. Double perks, okay. Next gun taken from the magic box comes popped. That's a great bubblegum, and points you earn are also power ups last longer. Personal power up, I'll take that. Next time you take melee damage, nearby zombies burst into fire. Max ammo. That works.
Replacement. There's not a keyboard, there's a keycap replacement thing. We'll replace keycaps if somebody messed up the butterfly mechanism. We never charge for this because it seems like you're nickel and diming the customer. So we'll do that lost leader service, and the idea is that later on, when you need your data recovered, instead of going to the place at the mall that charges $60 and fucks up your phone, they'll come here and pay $500 for us to get the data back properly.
Okay, cool. That's it, yeah.